truth that you are a slave. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison for your mind.
Greetings to all of humanity's reader. Joy, it's always a pleasure and an honor to be greeting you and bringing this message of emancipation to you, whereby I'm pointing you to look no other place but to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. And that is why I always point you to go within. And I'm going to speak to you concerning how to close the door and go within. Okay? You must always go within and remember to close the door. Now, in 2 Kings chapter 4, around verses 33, it tells you the story of Elisha and the woman whose son died, and Elisha was to pray to resurrect that child. Now, you have a child that is in you. That child in you is your desire, it's your goal, it's your dream that is lying dormant, that need to be resurrected. It is your brainchild that is there lying in an immobile state, haven't been put in motion because you fail to use your emotion, because everything is energy, vibration, and frequency, and emotion is energy in motion. Therefore, it tells you that Elisha, which is speaking of your higher self, your God self, your Christ self, that he put everyone out and he went within and closed the door, which is basically saying that when you have a desire and you have a goal and a dream that you want to see manifest, you are to close your two eyes, which is the doorway to your soul. And you are to see things through your mind's eye, through the eye of God, through the eye of imagination. And you're going to live in your affirmation. You're going to live in your assumption, morning, noon, and night. And you're going to live in that assumption of your wish already fulfilled. You're going to live in the present tense. You're going to call those things that be not as though they are. So many people read about Elisha praying for the woman's son so that he may live, and fail to realize that this is a psychological jammer teaching you that God is man's imagination. And that God in man is actually man's imagination, and how you have to go within to activate the power of your imagination to call forth that which you must resurrect. You are the one who must resurrect that which is lying dormant within you. That same psychological jam has been played out in St. John chapter 11 also, with Lazarus, which I think I would have done a video just recently concerning Lazarus, okay, and the feeling of the wish fulfilled, whereby the greatest prayer that I've ever been uttered is, "Thank you, Father, for hearing me, for I know that thou always hear me." And this was the same thing that you're seeing right here with Elisha, going in and closing the door. Now, this same thing is written also in Matthew chapter 6 and verses 6, which tells you whenever you have a desire, how that true prayer is desire and meditation, and how You are not to be like the hypocrites who like to be seen and like to be heard. And how you have to block out all the distractions, all the self-doubt, all of the limiting beliefs. So I show you that Elisha way back in 2 Kings chapter 4, where he shut out all the limiting beliefs and doubt and fear. And in Matthew chapter 6, it's showing you the same thing. And in St. John chapter 11 also is showing you the same thing. Okay? So here we see in Matthew chapter 6 and verse 6, it says that you have to shut out all of these limiting beliefs, these obstacles and stumbling blocks, these devils, these demons, which is actually have to do with your self-doubt, your self-image, the concept you hold about yourself. You gotta remove all of those limiting things and have the right concept of yourself. And you must go within, because the Father is within. And the Father is referring to your imagination, which is God in man. And live in your imagination. And so we see in the whole psychological drama between Neville Goddard and Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia, who was Neville Goddard's mentor, we can see all of these things have been played out in scriptures when Abdullah told Neville to live from the point of the wish fulfilled to go to the end and see himself already in Barbados, in his mother's home in Barbados, by sleeping in his imagination night after night in his mother's home in Barbados, and see himself walking the streets of Barbados in his imagination while he was walking the streets of New York. We see all of this drama being played out also in the scriptures, proving that God in man is truly man's imagination. And that's why, my brother, my sisters, my encouragement to you is to go within and close the door. Go within and close the door. Go into visualization and live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. And remember, an assumption, though false, once persisted in, would harden into fact. It would become a hardened objective fact in this three-dimensional world. Because when you do that, you're living from the fourth dimension and living four-dimensionally. And the real you is the fourth-dimensional you. For your spirit having a human experience. So, my brother, my sisters, always live from within. Always live from the invisible world in order to display your visible world. That is why it doesn't matter how much you hear this message, if you do not put it into practice and become a doer, you'll never prove how powerful you are. But I'm saying to you, put it to work. Practice morning, noon, and night, and hold to your assumption and live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Do not just get into the feeling when you're doing your imaginal act, but live your whole entire life always in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, whatever wish, whatever desire you have, and it will definitely come to pass in your life. That's what it means when it says that you shall decree a thing and it shall come to pass. That's what it really means when you say you call those things that be not as though they are in Romans 4:17. Okay? So my brother, my sisters, you have to realize that the closet is speaking of your body. The door is speaking of your eyes. It's all about your physiology. It's all about your anatomy. Okay? It's all about you, because the Bible is a spiritual autobiography that must be interpreted psychologically. So with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, and with these little words of wisdom and encouragement, I'm saying to you, go within and close the door and live from within. So with that being said, I want to say to you that if this is the very first time that you're listening to me and what I'm saying is really resonating with you, and you feel very much inspired, and you would like to get more of this kind of teaching, I would like to say, if you haven't subscribed already, I'm encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram on Black Mad Guru. And if you would like to be a patron on my Patreon, I hope I'm saying it right, okay, I would encourage you to check out the work that we have there. And I also have the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. That's a course there for people who are donating at least $20 or more. If you feel strongly led to be a part, I would definitely encourage you to do so. And if there's any other way that you'd like to support this work, we have a PayPal and the link is down below. Feel free to check the link that is below. If you feel strongly led, because my teaching is that you must always trust your imagination. In other words, always be intuitive. Trust your intuition. Do things based on your gut feeling. So if you feel compelled by these words that I'm bringing forth to you to do so, then I'll definitely strongly encourage you to do so. So with all of that being said, my brother and my sisters, I want to thank you very much. And I want to say peace. Love you all. I'm out.